firefighter, father, pickleballer, Dennis Rodriguez, aka Pickleball Dude, is all three and so much more. He's on the court with me, and we are getting Saxxy in the kitchen. It's the Pickle with Mickle interview series 00. Start! So I am here today with Dennis Rodriguez, or Pickleball Dude. And I first have to say, Dennis, that's one of the best Instagram handles out there that you could have. So congratulations to you. How are you doing today, my man? What is going on out there in California?
I'm doing really well. Yeah, things are good. We finally have some good weather. This weekend was kind of interesting. Some random sporadic rain. I actually had a tournament on Saturday that got postponed. So I'll be doing that in a couple weeks. And now, of course, it looks like summer out here. It's gorgeous. So the pickleball behind me. Things are good. Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah, I mean, this is the time of year, often throughout the whole year, where you live in places like we do, Dennis, we get to weather shame people, and I'm not ashamed to weather shame people. I talked in my show that's going to go out later today that this is the time for it, because pretty soon here in the desert, all complaining will resume when the temperature throttles back up to about 115 degrees. You mentioned you had a canceled tournament. There is a little tournament up the road in Sacramento. Will you be making your way up there for any of the APP action this week, or is that not on the radar?
You know, it would completely be on the radar if I didn't have a 7-week-old at home. So I am a little delayed to local tournaments and anything that's kind of popping up, within an hour drive max. So unfortunately, no.
And I wanted to hit on the family scene that you have at home right now, because that's an awesome story as well. Is it true that your wife went into labor, or her water broke when she hit a third shot drop?
Yeah, actually, I don't know about a third shot drop, but yes, we were mid game, and she was like, "Something feels weird," and she's like, "Okay, it's kind of wet down there. What's going on?" We finished the game, and she was like, "Guys, I'm gonna go run to the bathroom." Turns out her water broke, and 12 hours later, we're literally delivering a baby. So pretty crazy.
Unbelievable. And a healthy baby. Was it baby girl or baby boy?
A baby girl. That's a funny story in itself, but I'll keep it short. Long story short, we were one of the 1%. We were under the impression we were having a baby boy, and she popped out a baby girl. The blood work, the blood test that you do, I guess it's got a 1%, possible false reading. We were the 1%. And healthy baby girl. Totally odd.
That is awesome. Now, had you painted the nursery for a boy, and had you done all the boy things leading up to the birth, and then you had a girl, or were you still kind of neutral and it was just a blessing because we have a healthy baby?
We were lucky that our nursery was neutral, but the one thing was, a week before, I literally went to Goodwill and dropped off all my girl clothes, thinking I was having a boy. So we only had boy clothes.
Hey, that's okay. That's all right. And so, I mean, part of your story too is you're a firefighter out there in California. I did a little digging around on you. You played tennis and baseball, high school, college, before we found this pickleball thing. And now you're doing really well with pickleball, and we're going to get into that. But let's go back a little bit with the background of tennis, Dennis, and baseball. How far in college did we go with either? Did we play in college competitively? Where'd you go to school?
Yeah. So I after high school, I played varsity all throughout. And then after high school, I was pretty dedicated to the idea of becoming a firefighter. So I went all in with firefighting. I was doing extracurriculars all related to firefighting. And regarding to sports, I just continued to play club, continued to play tournaments and coach. And a lot of my friends that went on to play college, I played competitively with them and their friends. So that was kind of my college experience with the sports. But I was all in on firefighting, and then became a firefighter at 25.
Okay. Now, hey, thank you for doing that. Thank you for being a first responder out there. One thing, and we're going to talk about how you met Matt and what you're doing out there with Mavericks, because he glows about you and how you're helping him. And Mavericks is a great company. The pickleball scene among firefighters out there, from what I hear, is pretty awesome. Talk about that a little bit, and give a shout out to your brothers here in Arizona. They need to start pickling, Dennis.
Yeah, I'm shocked if the firefighters out in Arizona are pickling. That is shocking to me because I mean that it is definitely the bug has hit here in California for sure. We've got guys all over California that are playing. We're actually doing a major Newport Beach fire tournament in the next couple of weeks, I think, or a month or so. And every firefighter or every fire department all over California is going to be there. So yeah, shout out to those guys. They got to get out. They got to get out there and start playing pickleball. That's the sport now. Let's take it
That's what
over.
we got to do. That's what I want to do is fire up some cross-state firefighter pickleball rivalries. And then ultimately, Matt and I talked about this. How cool would it be to put on like a firefighter tournament and then ultimately having it settled, right? AZ, California. I mean, it would be awesome. I bet we could get sponsors. We could make it a good deal. But I think that's great how it's embraced in the community. And, you know, I see you guys in the grocery store all the time. If you want to get your shopping done, you follow the fire guys because they are getting everything you need and it's all you need. And so I'll talk to them, right? I'll be like, hey, where are you guys pickling? Where's the pickleball? We got a court in the firehouse. I hear over in California, they got pickleball courts in some of the firehouses. And they'll be like, some of the guys do. So I'm going to make it part of my mission to keep stirring this up because we got to get that pickleball going.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
And now where are you sitting right now? You said you're at the club. Go ahead and plug the club.
Yeah. So I'm at Los Cab, which has become pretty famous, one of the famous little pickleball spots here in Southern California, Orange County. And I'm in the clubhouse, they call it. It used to be the tennis clubhouse. Now it's the tennis and pickleball clubhouse. Really cool little spot. There's a lounge in here. Actually, there's some people behind or in front of me that are watching some tennis going on right now. But yeah, it's a cool little spot. You can spend a full day here if you wanted to.
Just hang out, get some pickle in, good food. Obviously today, weather great.
Oh,
How
yeah.
many courts at the Los Cab Club?
39 permanent courts, permanent lines.
39 courts.
There is literally no tennis courts lines on there, so they are uninterrupted, beautiful courts. 39 of them.
That's incredible. That's what we need, folks, and we're going to start to see, I believe, more places like this with more courts because the demand is still there. I go down to Gilbert Regional Park. There's about 18, 20 courts, always packed. I think we're going to see some of these tennis clubs do a little more conversion with pickleball because pickleball is here to stay. Tennis isn't going away, but we do need room. We do need room for picklers because it involves the people. It allows for more coaches like yourself for instruction. It allows for more local and community tournaments, etc. We're just seeing the boom of this sport as it's unlike anything I've ever seen. And then back to your personal story, when did you grab pickleball?
So it was interesting. So 2020 hits, and we're all stuck inside. Other than us, right? As firefighters, we still have to go to work. So we're trying to think of stuff to do, and somebody introduces us to pickleball. Now, this is not really my introduction to pickleball as much as I wanted it to be, or wish it was. I was the tennis player who was like, that game is lame. I'll play with you guys, hit the ball around a little bit, but I'm not really playing pickleball. So I went out there, played like a couple games with them. I was like, yeah, this is kind of a joke in my mind. They weren't great either, so we weren't really. And so then flash forward, 2021 October, my gym has some pickleball clinic, and my wife and I were like, you know what, let's just actually give it a try. I had an intro 2020, but never did it. Let's try it out. We tried it out. We kind of had fun. We thought it'd be a fun family affair. Turns out I ended up getting addicted and realized that it really is a legit sport, and the rest is kind of history. I've been playing ever since, got super into it, and now I play competitively with some solid players. We've actually got, you can't see from here, but we got some pros way out there in the back right now. We got Jaime's here. Jaime, DJ Young's back there. We got Mary Brosh is out there playing. They're all doing a practice game. Some solid play out there. Yeah.
That's some good names to drop. And isn't it incredible how you can go there and you, like you just said, hey, we got some pros back here. I can walk down to the Pickle Mall and run into some pros who were just playing at the Mesa Cup or Desert Ridge Classic or might be out in Sacramento or over in Minnesota where the PBA is this weekend. And I just think it's great because they're also approachable. And certainly
Oh
as the
yeah.
sport continues to grow, that might not be the case, especially at these tournaments. And I want to talk to you about that and get some of your take on that, because it's really easy to go up and get a photo with a pro and talk to a pro. And I never spent a lot of time at tennis tournaments myself, professional tennis tournaments. I don't know that the accessibility to some of those players is like that. And I just think from a personal safety and personal space standpoint, I love the accessibility, and I like that the players are welcome for that. As the sport continues to grow, I think we're going to see that kind of be more difficult to just run up to Dennis at a turn and be like, "What up, bro? Let's get a pic."
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think because, like you said, the sport is so new. Well, it's not really new, but the sport is so new in the sense of booming in popularity that
Right.
right now the players are like they want to be out there and take the pictures. They want to show that they're approachable because that's just going to continue the popularity of the sport. But like you said, as it grows, as tennis got huge, when I used to go to tennis tournaments, major tournaments, it's impossible to get a picture with one of the pros unless you're down there or you're following them and trying to like get them at a very short little like second before they get into a locker room. There is not accessibility like there is with pickleball, and we're going to see it
Right.
go away, like you said, or slowly go away, I think.
And as we see it continue to boom on TV, recent news, MLP is back. I love the team aspect. And when if we could truly get behind the teams and the players on the teams, and I think we will, we're seeing the advent of National Pickleball League, Senior Pro Tour, these team leagues now for more distinguished players like myself, and you'll get there soon too. And I just think that's great because for a casual fan, now, like you said, initially, Dennis, Pickleball Dude, for crying out loud, you were a little pickle snooty because you had that tennis background. But I think as we see this more on TV, it's that team game that will draw that casual fan. The pickleball folks are already pretty smart positioning pickleball on TV where? In between football, right after golf, where the casual fan's going to observe it. And there's a lot of crossover between golf and pickleball in this guy's mind, because who doesn't pick up a golf club and think, I'm going to go be great at golf until you start playing golf? And everybody grabs that paddle and goes,
Right.
oh my gosh, I'm going to be this pickleball player. I'll be 4-0 in 3 months. I want to play on this tour. It looks so fun. Pump the brakes, people. You need to get out there. You got to practice. You have to play consistently. So throw your coach hat on, Dennis. How often during the day, you've got a busy schedule, you've got a newborn, you've got your wife. When do you get the pickle time in? Talk to us about practicing, because that is the essence of getting better at pickleball. And for when you started playing, you weren't a 4-0 player. Where's your level now? If we have to use the duper, go ahead and give me a number.
Yeah. Well, I just played a tournament with a buddy of mine. We've been playing a bunch of open tournaments. We decided to drop ourselves down one level, so we played a 4-5 and we got gold. So I am waiting for my duper to update. I'm about a 4.5 right now. Hopefully it'll update closer to 4.8 or so. Playing PPA 5.0 in a couple months here, actually. So that should be great, depending on how I do. Bump that duper up, but I would say I'm around that 4.8 or so. But yeah, as far as practice goes, once I got really into it, I realized how important it was. Consistency is important. Like I've got all the shots that some of the bigger players have, but what separates them is, one, their knowledge of when to execute those shots, and then two, their consistency. They do not make unforced errors. Unforced errors are minimal when you're playing at these higher levels, and that's what separates the great players from the decent players, the 4-0s. 4-0s are making those mistakes. 5-0s, they're not.
Right. No, and that's well said, because that's what I see, when you're 3-5 like me and you see a 4, you watch the pros. They don't make those little mistakes. And the game becomes so fun because it becomes that chess match. Hey, we're going to serve it. There's going to be a return. Game on now. Are we getting up into the kitchen? Are we going to try to outpower each other for a little bit? But it's that dinking chess match, the accuracy that you have to keep up close to the kitchen, waiting for that spot, right? Because you and me could be going cross, and I'm just sitting there kind of thinking I'm not into it. And then you pop one right in front of me and I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I got to do? And so I
Right.
love just that
Right.
chess match of the game and waiting to speed it up. I think a lot of times, and you
Hmm.
could talk about this because at your level, and you do teach and provide, teaching for players, a lot of folks, when they just come into the game, they want to bang it. They want to smash it. They think it's just this big power game, but it's not. There's certainly power in the game. And you just said it. You've got all the shots. You're a big guy. I'm sure you can put some power into a hit. People are going to block it. And so it's being able to consistently reset, dink, and then use the power when appropriate. Because oftentimes I would think if you're driving one hard, you're not trying to drive it at me. You're finding space to make me get off because that way I'm not going to be able to block it back.
Hmm.
Talk about that a little bit.
Right. Right. Yeah, 100%. So when you get to a certain level, especially in that 4.5 to 5.0 range, you realize that driving it is more of a strategy to get yourself into the kitchen. You're really not actually at that level driving it to get a winner because the hole is so minimal. You're just going to make yourself get unforced errors. So if I have a good opportunity to drive it, I'm actually driving it at my opponent, preferably like if I'm a lefty or as a righty, I want to do, their shoulder maybe or their hip, something where they got to kind of block it back. But all I'm doing, I'm just setting myself up for that fifth shot drop to make it an easier drop to get myself into the kitchen so I can play a more aggressive kitchen game. I can't pass these guys. I was playing earlier this morning, playing with a 6'3" dude and a 6-foot guy. Their wingspan's huge. They're ex-tennis players. I can drive it as hard as I can. They're gonna block it back. So you got to find a way to get yourself into the kitchen, and that's the key. Is I will drive to set myself up for that next kind of reset or that next drop that's going to get me into the kitchen and get myself to play that more aggressive kitchen game instead of.
That's awesome. And I appreciate you saying that because there are big guys out there playing pickleball and you're just not going to put it around them when they have a skill and know where to position themselves on the court. I loved watching the pro tennis pickleball thing and there was Dirk out there playing a little pickle. You're not getting it over Dirk or around Dirk. And Nowitzki's got a little pickle skills. I mean, it's fun to see some of these athletes we watch in all of these other sports playing a little pickleball. And then, I've been talking to some folks from the National Pickleball League, and they've got former athletes that are at their combines and hoping to get drafted into their league today. Now, with your pickle future and you're playing in some pro tournaments, is that where we want to go? And how will you continue to kind of move that forward as part of your passion? I mean, you've got so much that you're managing, and I think that's I love to hear about that and how you juggle it, especially with the newborn. And then I want to get into some of your thoughts on just that, the sport for a new father, a new family, husband, wife, child. How do we direct that little princess to be a pickleballer?
Well, the key is to play as much pickleball as possible, like my wife said, all the way up until literally day of. No, but
So awesome.
yeah, like you said, when I thanks. When I first got into this, yeah, of course, the goal is I want to play some pro tournaments. I want to get into that pro level, which would be amazing and is amazing that I've gotten to play some solid open tournaments with some great level players. I just kind of realized that I have to also accept the process. I'm not a 20-year-old with all the time in the world. I have responsibilities and I want to be an incredible father, husband, all those things. So I have to manage that. I'm blessed to have a wife that's also addicted to pickleball. I'm blessed to have a wife addicted to pickleball, which is awesome. Perfect. So I get to play with her a little bit and drill quite a bit, which has been huge. So whenever we have free time, we drill together, which is awesome. But also, just doing this like what I did today. I got my mom to come over, babysit the kids for a little bit. I got out here early, 7 a.m. I'm out here drilling with some solid players, getting some games in, and just trying to manage that time. If I have to wake up extra early, 6 a.m., be out here, I'll do it. If it gets me to be a good father, by 8 a.m. and I'll handle the whole day.
That's right. Hey, if you get out there early enough and you get a little pickle in, it sets that mind right for the rest of the day. Present is the father. I love it. That's great. And now talk about do you get to play with your wife in competitive tournaments? Who are your playing partners? And is that a steady alliance for you, or does that change? Or are you looking to really cement some partnerships to move forward in the pickle career?
Yeah. currently trying to set some stuff set in stone regarding a solid doubles partner. I have a couple guys that I've been consistently playing or drilling with, but they are looking to have partners as well. So we're going to kind of test those things out, but our schedules align a little bit better than my previous partner. Unfortunately, my previous partner could only practice at night, and that's the one time I'm trying to do family time at that point. So I had to switch it up. But yeah, I'm trying to find a consistent partner. My wife and I have done some mixed tournaments. We won a 4-0 tournament back when she was 22 weeks pregnant in Kappa, which was pretty fun. Yeah, now just moving forward.
That is incredible. And so, what does your wife do when she's not on the court? Is she a full-time stay-at-home mom, or what's her job?
No, she works for an industrial realtor. She's basically a project manager for industrial real estate. So you see those large warehouses. She manages the building of those things from the ground up, all the logistics, getting the permitting, all that stuff. She's kind of the one that handles those. And yeah, that's what she does by day, and then mom by night, and pickleballer.
Super mom, pickleballer at night, right? That is so awesome. And so talk a little bit about, and obviously the future is the future. Pickleball is going to continue to grow. We talked about before, it's a sport that's been around for a long time. What I like to say, it's a dormant sport that is now rising back up. And hey, thanks COVID, we needed you for something. You got us pickleball. As your daughter continues to grow up, what I think is going to be interesting from your perspective is to see how pickleball grows up too, and the availability for the youth clinics, youth programs, junior high, AAU pickleball, high school pickleball, college pickleball, and then of course pro pickleball. It's going to be an interesting landscape as she grows up and you're continuing your own journey. When do you think is an appropriate time to put a stick in her hand?
You know, and I have a 2.5-year-old as well. I've already put a little mini pickleball paddle in her hand. And so I think honestly that there's no real time. Like as soon as they're able to hold it and they show any form of an interest, get them out there. Yeah, it said something. I can hear you. It was reconnecting a little bit, so a little spotty. Probably a lot of people using internet here right now.
Yeah, people not pickling are on the internet entering their scores.
Yeah, seriously. Well, that's the thing that's what's cool about Los Hat is that people are playing pickleball, but there's people lounging right here over there by the jacuzzi. There's people relaxing over there having a drink. Is there
a cold plunge?
No, there's not a cold plunge. There is a full gym though. But yeah, that'd be the next level if they can get that cold plunge. There's a nice big pool, but they keep it heated.
Oh, well, got to keep it heated out in California, Dennis. I mean, come on. And talk about a little bit about how you stay in shape physically. You're a firefighter, but for the people starting in pickleball, I see people working out, all the time. There's big guys, fit gals playing pickleball. Do you need a lot of weight room type of training? What's a good kind of mix of exercises to say pickleball fit? Because we're using a lot of those long muscles when we're hitting backhands and forehands, obviously calves and legs and our back because we're bending down a lot. Can you shed a little light on your own physical regimen or maybe some helpful hints for some people that are playing?
Yeah, 100%. First and foremost, I'm at fault for this as well, but you have to stretch. You have to stretch before, you have to actually, if you're going to take pickleball somewhat seriously and just to enjoy and play it on a regular basis, you got to commit to 15 minutes at least before stretching your muscles, loosening up your arms. What does everybody get? They get tennis elbow. Well, why? Yep. Because they go right into hitting. Loosening up your arms, doing some stretches, basic things like that. That's first and foremost. It's the easiest. And then, of course, hitting the gym, I would say more plyometric things, which means more fast twitch muscles, activating things with bands versus heavy weight. Okay. We're not bodybuilders anymore right now, right? We don't need to get bigger. We need to get more flexible. We need to get longer, and we need to strengthen those muscles so they can last. So that's something that I've changed. I'm a lot leaner now than I used to be back when I was doing firefighting. I was all about getting big, lifting heavy. I kind of cut that out. I do more lighter weight, higher reps. And like you said, focus on calves, focus on things that are going to benefit me for the pickleball game. And honestly, the longevity is of life, which are focus on things that are like strengthening my forearms, where I'm going to be lifting things, where I'm going to be swinging paddles, strengthening my legs, getting my flexibility down. That's the key, honestly. You can find simple programs on YouTube or on apps that are all about biometric body weight type stuff. You don't even need a gym anymore. You just need some bands and some good body weight exercises.
Balance board, right? I mean, what were some of those things I
Balance,
saw
balance, 100%.
on your Instagram page for the hand speed? Were you just throwing a ball back and forth on the wall, or was that something different?
No, that was actually balls are great, but I was hitting a ball, like hitting it on it. So finding a wall, a lot of these gyms, they have racquetball courts, things like that, or even just your local park or in your backyard, if you have a wall, and just practicing hitting dinks and practicing hitting speed ups. That's gonna just build up. All right, yeah, that's just gonna build up the hand speed. That's also gonna build up your forearm strength. So, hitting on a wall is huge. That people don't realize that taking the time to do those simple things, one, are going to improve your game so much, but you're also going to feel less pain. And then lastly, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, is taking a recovery seriously. I'm mid-30s, but after I play some long pickleball, I go home and I ice my arm, I ice my calves, and then I do a little stretch. Like, those are important. I take it seriously because you're going to get injured. This game, it's getting a lot of people injured because they think it's easy, but it's strenuous.
It is. We see a lot of the pickleball injuries, and the dollar amounts around the pickleball injuries are staggering, but it's basic principles. You're playing something new, probably. A lot of us are not in their 30s. They're more in that 50 plus kind of like me, and they want to get out there and start playing, folks. If you're not a former professional something, and you haven't been keeping up your athleticism, we need to go back to PE, do some stretches before we get out there, make sure we're staying hydrated. And then when you're done playing too, you should warm down a little bit, because guess what? You're going to want to play again tomorrow. And if you're hurting, you ain't going to be playing.
Exactly.
And so let's skip ahead a little bit. Love the Mavericks hat. Love the Mavericks shirt. Let's talk a little bit about Mavericks. Let's talk a little bit about your presence on Pickleball Portal. Are you still on Pickleball Portal? Because I saw you there, and I love everything that Mavericks has going. He's got a new stick coming out soon. Talk about how you met Matt, how you got involved with Mavericks.
Yeah. So I went to college with a buddy of Matt's. I didn't know Matt, but my buddy had seen on Instagram and Facebook I was getting really into pickleball, and he was like, "Oh, my old buddy is creating a pickleball company," and so he got us in touch, and we're both firefighters. Matt's a super cool dude. We both found out that we're kind of paddle nerds. We like to talk the lingo. We like to get nerdy about it and talk spin and dwell time and blah blah blah. And so we just kind of found that common ground. And once we were introduced, we became quick friends. And not to mention, he sent me a paddle, and I fell in love with it. Like, I actually loved it. So that was just a plus, the icing on the cake.
Yeah, so great. Such a great story. I was talking to Matt a little bit before we came on. I told him you were coming on, and he was pumped up, and I said, "Hey, when you got that new stick ready, because he's working on that new stick, you got to come on and promote that thing." Because the Havik series from Maverick, power, control. Do you play control or power?
I play power.
Me too. And I have the control. Like you said, I fell in love with the power paddle as soon as I got it. It was one of the first paddle company paddles that I got after I first started playing. And with any paddle, it takes a little bit to get used to. But again, speaking from a rec guy coming up, there's plenty of power. There's plenty of spin and control, even in the power model. And I can't wait to see what he's got coming out on the horizon. I've got a few of my friends swinging the Havik stick now too, and I converted them off of their Eula and off of their, what was the other guy swinging? I think a Gamma. And hey, let's keep pushing forward, right?
100%. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but he sent me a couple of their prototypes, and let's just say I did a full switch. I'm using the Havik, but I'm actually using the new one that's coming out, and it's next level. It's awesome. And that's honestly one of the reasons why I love doing Pickleball Portal too, is because I get to try and test out so many paddles, I know what feels different and new into it. And it shined when he sent me this prototype. I was like, oh yeah, dude, you got to put these into production. These are awesome. Just it's
I
everything
want
that the
one.
Power offered with more.
Yeah, no, he
He
was
needs to
telling
get
me
more.
about it before,
He,
and as
he
he
had a
talks
limit.
about it, and like you said, like you were just talking about the dwell and spin rates and these things, he don't start going way off into the pickle tangent, and I'm like, just talk to me just about the basics of the paddle, bro. But hey, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
It's coming out soon, and I think he's doing good things
Yes.
in paddles. He's got some creativity, great players already coming along with the brand, and you're out there doing great things. Now, I got to get into this. Your Saxxy vocals, Dennis. This is something when you might see Pickleball Dude out on the gram and on some of the socials, you might not know he is a suave killer on the saxophone. Pump up this Saxxy vocals. Is this still a big part of what you do?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's definitely been it's been my side business for some time. Grew up playing music, loved music for a long time. I balanced a lot of athletic sports with my music. Somehow music always stuck. My dad was a musician, incredible singer. Sang for a band, I don't know if you know, but a band called Tower of Power back in the 70s. Incredible guy.
Look
Hey,
at you right there.
look who it is.
Yeah, look at that guy.
um, that's me. Um, but yeah, music has been a part of my life. I do a lot of the national anthems for the fire department. They fly me out to Sacramento. I do the firefighter memorial every year. It's brought me a lot of opportunities, and it's just something that I will never give up. It was my first passion, and it'll stick with me forever.
So cool. And you've performed in Dodger Stadium. You've performed in some really cool places. How hard is it to do the national anthem on the saxophone? I know it's hard to sing. We know that just by watching people, very talented singers, go out there and give it a try. What's it like doing it on the sax?
What's nice about the sax is that there's keys, right? Like a keyboard. Like when you press that one note, like that's the note you're pressing. When you sing, you can sing out of key or you can sing, so that can be nerve-wracking. Plus there's lyrics involved. So I've done both. I don't know if you know, I'm also a singer, but I will say by far I feel much more comfortable performing it on the saxophone. I feel much more confident on the saxophone. But yes, it's great. I love doing it. And it's something different. People like it. They all know the lyrics already. They're singing along with the lyrics in their head when they
Right.
hear my version of it on the sax, and it's great. I've done it at the Staples Center, or I guess now Cristo Center, or whatever you call it.
Whatever they
I've
call
also
it.
performed at the Dodger Stadium, which has been amazing. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I never take it lightly when I'm asked to perform our national anthem. So.
That's awesome. And who's the saxophone inspiration? Are we, Coltrane, Rollins? I mean, Kenny G guy. What's up?
Oh yeah. I went through periods, I went through phases. I was a big Charlie Bird Parker fan growing up. That bebop,
Charlie
one of the
Parker.
he started some of these incredible, yeah. Of course, John Coltrane, but some of my more modern, big Gerald Albright fan. That smooth sound of Boney James, and then, I did get into a bit of Kenny G because that guy really makes a horn sing. Like he makes that sound like a voice, and that's
He does.
something that I wanted to replicate. So yeah, big
Awesome. I
influences,
just
all
think
of them
that's so cool when I
in their
saw
own
that
ways.
about you. I played the string bass as a kid in fourth and fifth grade back in the orchestra. Never took it into rock and roll with the bass or anything like that, but I had to lug that thing around. I mean, that's no small task. So I always love
Not at
music.
all.
Now,
That's where the guns
now
come from.
you know it. I mean, come on, we got to hide these things. All right, now do you get pumped up before a pickleball match with a saxophone song? What's your pump up music?
I love it. No, no. To be honest, actually, my pump up music. I'm a big EDM fan. Like I love so good techno, if you will. Something that just kind of
All right.
gets your head moving, just gets you in the zone. It
Yeah,
doesn't always
beats
have to
and
have
bumps,
lyrics.
right?
Sometimes it's just a good beat that's just put me in the mood. And then sometimes I'll go old school without music, and I'll listen to like a good old Kobe Bryant like inspirational speech before I'm like about to do a big tournament. You know,
Yeah.
hey,
Get fired
I
up
never
from the
consider a
Mamba.
loss a
Take that
loss. It's a
black
learning
Mamba
experience. Everything I
mentality.
do.
Take the Mamba mentality
Heck
onto the
yeah.
court. I love
So
it. I'm a big Kobe fan myself. And so now you did it without even trying. You transitioned me right into your love of other sports. Are you a full LA guy? Lakers, Dodgers? Talk to me.
I'd say more of an Angels fan in the sense of just that was kind of it was closer to home. That was the go-to baseball stadium that I would always go to, and so that I definitely a big fan. Lakers, absolutely love the Lakers. Um, yeah, I was more of a baseball guy growing up. I don't quite have the height for basketball. I did play freshman basketball, and then I realized I don't think I'm going to grow too much more than my 5'10" stature. But baseball was always my thing. And then after baseball, I decided to kind of I was taking firefighting, going in on that path, doing volunteer work and stuff as a young 16-year-old. And my buddy got me into tennis, and I fell in love with it. I had never played a sport that you kind of rely on yourself. I was
Right.
always a team guy, hence being a firefighter team. But when I found out that it was all on me, and however well I was playing or my mentality was to win was gonna put that on the court, I fell in love with it, and yeah, I got addicted. Got addicted. Played varsity my last 2 years of um, high school because I only got introduced to it my last 2 years of high school, and ended up being number three singles in a matter of 2 months. I love picking
Wow.
up a racket. So not just the athleticism, obviously, and the fact that my buddy who introduced me was the number one tennis player, and he was
Oh, that
national
helps.
ranked. So that helped. Yeah.
That kind of helps a little bit.
Yeah. So I just fell in love with it.
And then you said
Just a little
did you
bit.
play tennis in college as well?
No. So my buddy, the one that introduced me, went on to play college tennis. I went to Cal State Fullerton, where they didn't have a tennis
Fullerton.
team, even though I
They got
would
a
have played.
baseball team though.
Yeah, I would have played. They do, but I knew baseball. Like I wasn't going to be going anywhere drastic with that. I was a solid player, but I knew my focus was. I wanted to be. My focus was always music and then firefighting. I knew that
That's so
firefighting
cool.
was going to allow me to do music also, and so that was kind of the goal. But yeah, I would have played tennis, college tennis, but the reason why I went to Fullerton was because they offered a bachelor's program in public administration, which at the time I had heard was the best bachelor's you could get to become a firefighter. So mentality, just I knew what I wanted, and that's the route I went. And then I still played competitive tennis all through college, in USTA, all that stuff.
Very fun, very fun. And so if you had to point or pick, I should say, destination, got the kids taken care of, it's just you and the wife, where are we going? Where's that one place we want to go?
It depends. Are you talking going and playing a lot of pickleball, or just going to like the trip?
This is dream destination. Hey, I would think if you two are going, pickleball is going to be on the docket. Where are we going?
Yeah, yeah, pickleball definitely would. My
You
wife
one
and
of
I have
those
been really
Maldives
blessed. So
guys want to go in one of those little.
yeah, yes, actually, we when we go on a trip, if we're going to go on a trip, just the two of us, we're going somewhere that's going to be an experience, not just relaxation. We've been to a lot of countries, believe it or not, but I would say one place that I would absolutely love to go, that I have not been to, two places actually, would be Greece. I'm not Greece. I've been to Greece. Would be Ireland
Okay.
or Australia. I would love to go to both of those places, and Japan, because my grandmother-in-law is from Japan, born and raised full Japanese. My wife
Wow.
is half Japanese,
Okay.
and
Yeah, you
yeah,
got to
so I
get
would love
over
to go to
there.
Japan.
Got to get over there. And the good news is
Yeah,
I can tell you for sure they're pickling in all three of those places. I just talked to Howard Castillo and he started
yes.
the Emerald Isle Pickleball League in Ireland. They got 14 teams over there already. It's
Oh,
incredible.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's pretty big out there. I know. Actually, there's a Mavericks guy. There one of the guys
That's
that
Howard.
loves Mavericks, supports it. Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
thinking of
That's him.
that's Howard. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was just on, and
That's
they're doing
awesome.
great things
Yeah.
over there. I caught him because he was in Florida visiting his brother. So back into dream scenarios and being a former tennis guy, you're a musician. We're in our dream scenario here, Dennis. We're gonna say that everybody knows how to play pickleball, so the pickleball will be fun. With that being said, the dream three people on the court with you. This could be anybody, musicians, entertainers, pro athletes. Give it to me.
Oh man. Oh, that's a hard one. I mean, I feel like I gotta bring some of my friends on board. I've got two incredible friends that have just like been diehard friends for the longest. My buddy Nathan Horowitz, incredible dude. He lives in North Carolina. I like to
Go
call him a
Heels.
dental surgeon. He's an endodontist.
Oh,
Amazing, amazing guy. If he could get good at pickleball and I could bring him on a pickleball vacation, oh man, that'd be a dream. And then my buddy Omar Purushev, one of my diehard friends. We've been together a long, long time. Man, us two. And then, you know what?
there you go. One spot.
My old school favorite tennis player, Rafael Nadal. If I can get Nadal out there,
That's old school. That's
the
not
four
old
of us
school.
go out. I'm well, in
Well,
my
I
opinion,
guess you're
because
only 30,
I've been
so that is.
watching since
I guess that is pretty old school.
yeah, I've been watching him since I started tennis, and I mean he was 18, 19 at the
Right.
time, so I've watched his whole career, and I'm a lefty, a fellow lefty, so I'm in with my tennis off him. Huge Western grip. I played
Yep.
Babolat, you know, rackets,
Awesome.
and yeah, if I could get the three of us or the four of us, that would be my dream.
You, your two buddies, and Nadal. Hey, man, that sounds like a fun afternoon to me.
Yeah, maybe on one of his yachts in Spain somewhere, playing on a pickleball court that's on his yacht. How about
On the
that?
yacht.
There we go.
Yeah. No, that would be the one. That would be the one. Sorry, honey. This is for me and the
Yeah,
boys. You don't get to come on this one. It's your dream.
yeah.
That's right. So you might not get enough time to watch any TV or movies. Think back. What was the last series you binged on a Netflix or a Prime or anything like that? Or do you and your wife have a little go-to TV time?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. What is the last one we started watching? You know what we started rewatching is 24. Do you remember 24?
I do. Yeah, Jack Bauer.
Yes, yes, we started yes, yeah, we started rewatching 24. But I would say one of our favorite binge-worthy shows that we've watched a couple times is Dexter. Big Dexter fan. Big Dexter fan. Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Did
I
you
don't
watch the
know.
second part?
Lately, with two young ones, I did. I did. It was
Yeah,
short and sweet, a little
it
short one
was.
season sweet.
It was short and sweet. I'll throw you a
Yeah.
Dexter-ish show that I found on the Hulu. It's called
Okay.
Obituary, and it's very similar.
Okay.
Where toiler alert. We use toilers around here. The woman writes obituaries after she kills them, right? So but she has her own set of rules,
Oh
like
my
Dexter.
gosh.
Yeah, and she sets up her own set of rules and stuff
Okay.
like that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch that. I'm definitely gonna have to watch that. And I would say the last show that I completely finished was Ozark. Big
Oh,
fan of that one
yes.
too.
Excellent show. Ozark was great. I love those kind of shows, and the cast
Yeah,
was great. If you
those
get
are
a
my
good
kind of shows.
premise and a good cast, it's just going to work. I love Succession that just finished. I think that was a good one too. And before I get you out of here, because I want to be respectful of your time, I really appreciate you making the time. Had to have Grandma watch the little one, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Celebrity high school crush, Dennis.
Okay. It depends. These come to mind immediately. I've got
Right.
two. If we're talking man crush, let's go that way first. Just
Go man
my
crush.
man
Go
crush
ahead.
because
We are
that.
confident
All right,
men.
man
You can
crush.
have a man crush. It's allowable.
I'm very confident. 100%. Ryan Reynolds, dude,
Okay.
the guy, especially in my high school days, the guy was freaking shredded. He was a comedian, super
Yeah.
confident dude, stud. I was like, dude, I want to be just like that guy. I feel like
Who
I'm,
didn't want to be Van Wilder?
a little far off from him. Dude, right, exactly. And then definitely my woman crush at that time, Jessica Alba, incredible. I just love her. My
Can't go
wife knew
wrong.
that. We've been dating since we were 19. She knew from the get-go that was my crush.
Hey, I tell you what, you can't go wrong. I was trying to watch the golf yesterday. They were in like a rain delay. I flip over on a channel. It's Fantastic Four. Right when she walks out in the Fantastic Four suit the first time and tries to get some emotions out of Reed Richards, and he's concerned about the material for crying out loud. That's a strong pull.
Oh
Jessica
my
Alba,
gosh.
beautiful girl. Yeah, I tell you where she's hilarious is in the Little Fockers, the role she does in the Little Fockers where she's chasing
Yeah.
Ben Stiller.
Yes. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely those would have been my two celebrity influences and crushes by far.
That is
Yeah.
so fun.
And
That
by
is
the
so
way,
fun.
regarding that yacht story, regarding the yacht, if I could have a fit, I would bring my wife because she is such a stud pickleballer, and I have so much fun playing with her. She's probably my number one partner considering we play so often together.
That's a good move. That's a good way to bring that right back in because this is going to go out, right? This is an internationally listened to show. You don't want your
Well,
wife getting wind of you leaving her out of the dream vacay.
I assume she
What?
was kind of a given. She would obviously be there, but
Yeah, we gotta make sure she knows that she's at the top of the list, top of the podium, right there. How about training meal? What do you suggest people kind of structure a diet to continue to stay healthy, active, in pickleball? I hear a lot of things from different people. How say you?
it depends. I might be a little different. I do a lot of my pickleball in the morning, and I fast. So I actually do a
Okay,
lot of pickleball fasting. But tournament day is different. Usually I will do something a few hours before our actual start time, and it'll be something along the lines of like eggs or egg whites, something not too heavy, um, and a little bit of a carb, whether that's like a piece of sourdough bread or something along those lines. I keep it pretty simple. I don't want to overcarb myself because I don't want to
okay.
get sluggish, and I don't want to nourish myself because I don't want to be dying at the end. And then for sure, I fill myself up on some decent electrolytes before, like the night before, and then a little before the matches. That helps me from cramping, and it also helps like prolong my muscles from just getting like tired. Yeah,
Do you
that's my
use
go-to. But
any?
yeah, during the like a standard day like this, I'm fasting.
Okay. Do you use any, when you mentioned the electrolyte replenishment, your hydration, do you use any powder drink supplements you could recommend? You go straight Gatorade? What's the pickleball dude drink of choice?
Yeah, yeah. I stick to like powdered electrolytes. I use liquid IV a lot. I don't worry too much about the fact that it has like sugar in it and things like that because you're burning off all that stuff anyway. Plus, your brain to really be operating well, it needs that sugar anyway. So I'd rather have a little more in that, so I'm dialed in and focused. Like you said, this is a chess match. Like you got to think of 2 or 3 steps ahead, right?
Right.
And then there's yeah. There's another fairly new company that came out called Ageless Cocktail, and I've been using them a lot. They have like 6 different ingredients, and they don't break your fast. And one of which is actually salt, and to kind of get your body like um, just kind of ready for the morning. That's actually something that I don't know if you listen to the Huberman podcast, but he recommends salt and sunlight every morning to start your day. And that's one of the things that they have, but they have a bunch of electrolytes, aminos, and things. Highly recommend them. That's been a huge game changer. Considering I'm going off of like 5 hours of sleep because I got a newborn at
Right.
home, so I don't get
Yeah,
as much sleep as I can. And that keeps me dialed all morning, all day. So I would highly recommend them.
that is awesome. Okay, I'm going to let you go. Final plug for yourself. He's pickleball dude, Dennis Rodriguez, doing great things in pickleball. He's a firefighter, got 2 children, one incredible story, the newborn. You're going to have to listen to our whole talk to get back to that. Dennis, as I let you
Okay.
go, anything else that you want to plug? Any events upcoming? Say hi to your fire bros out there. Jab a little to the Arizona fire contingent again, because we need to keep that thing going. But it's been my pleasure to have you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that the quality was good. I know there's a lot of people, like I said, using the internet, but yeah, if I could just give a shout out to Los Cab. They're such a cool facility. And if you guys are ever in the area, like feel free to message me, like you said, pickleball.dude on Instagram, and I can get you in here. We could play some fun matches. They got like 8 challenge courts to play. They have Friday night live, like tacos and just DJs. It's just such a fun environment here. So shout out to them. And then just, we've got a couple big tournaments coming up here. We've got the next PPA that's going to be here. And that's it. Really happy to be on. Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem. It's my pleasure. I'm going to get you one of these shirts. Pickle gating, right? I mean, you guys at the firehouse and after tournaments, you guys always need t-shirts. So I get one to you. And then when the rest of them need one, you send them to my website, micklepod.com, and they can get one too. But really, I appreciate you joining me, Dennis. Awesome time here today. Thank you so much. And you have a great rest of your week.
Thank you, Mickle. You have a great rest of your week as well. Take care.
Dennis, dude, that was great. I appreciate you, and we all appreciate your service as a first responder. Look for Dennis on the courts at Los Cab Pickle and Tennis Facility. Find our chat on all major podcast apps and YouTube at The Mickle Pod. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. I'll see all y'all next time for more